This is the second groundwork exercise. I'm going to start desensitizing the horse to the rope. So I first throw it on the horse's withers. So you see here that Storm's flinching his withers. So I'm just going to keep tossing the rope over with the same rhythmic motion until he stops flinching. Like, this is very important. Like, he's not moving, but he's still tense. So as long as he has that tenseness in his body, he's still worried. So we want to get rid of all that worry completely, so then he'll be safer for us to ride later on. So I'm just going to keep going here. You can see him flinching right over his wither. There, he stopped. So I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to rub on him until he blinks, because there he goes. I do that the first few lessons. Just I want to make sure he's completely relaxed. Lots of horses can shut down, especially when they're standing still and being desensitized, and just stare off and kind of be in their own little world. But a blinking horse is one who's paying attention to his surroundings, and he's not shut down. So I'm going to reward the alertness, the blinking. So that means he's thinking, he's aware. So I moved on to his back, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Like, this isn't really bothering him. Like, if he was running around, I would have stayed on his withers, and I would have stopped tossing the rope after he had stopped, and then I'd start again on the withers. Like, here, he's not really worried about it at all. So as soon as he was done flinching, I just kind of moved on to the next thing, because he doesn't really care. After he flinched on his withers, he didn't flinch on his back, he didn't flinch on his hindquarters, so I just kind of moved on. Like, I do the same procedure. I do withers, back, hindquarters, hind legs, front legs, and then his neck, and sometimes I'll toss it over his head. I do a different exercise for that, though. I'm just going to do his hind legs here. And I kind of want to toss the rope a little bit further and kind of get it to wrap around his legs so he can kind of feel that. If you ever want to hobble him or he gets stuck in a fence, it's just good practice. So I'm just going to keep desensitizing him. I want his head straight. I don't want him staring off. If he does, I'll just bump once gently, and then if he doesn't respond to that, I'll bump harder until he straightens his head and brings his attention back to me. So the signs of relaxation that we want to reward, first, like when we start desensitizing, the horse is moving. As soon as he stops moving, you stop desensitizing. Then if he's flinching, you keep doing it till he flinches. Then when he blinks, you reward. Another signs of relaxation are bringing his head down and blowing his nose. Like, you don't want to stop desensitizing until he does any of those things. If you do that, you're rewarding the wrong thing. So I'm just rhythmically tossing it back and forth over his legs. If you feel like you're going to have a problem with that, I'd practice on the fence first before you do it on your horse. He did really well with that. He's pretty calm and laid back for a thoroughbred. But we're going to do this on both sides. It's very important that you do it on both sides of your horse. There are two halves of their brain, and it can be very different outcome. But he's pretty calm with this. He's just hanging out here. He's got his head low. He's relaxed. He's blinking his eyes. So he's not real worried. But it is important that we go through these lessons, because you don't know what you have until you do this. And if you do have a problem in there somewhere, it will come out at some point, and we just want to take care of all the problems that we could have while we're riding. So here I'm waiting for him. He's flinching. There, he stopped flinching. I'm going to rub him until he blinks. So he's kind of staring off. I'm going to bump him to me. There, he blinks. And he had his intention on me. And I'm going to start again. Blinked his eyes, and I'm going to rub him. And then we'll move on to his hindquarters. He's not flinching, so I'm going to wait till he blinks. It's just good to remember, a blinking horse is a thinking horse. And it's not a quick half blink, because they'll do that sometimes, but like a whole eye blink, he shuts his whole lid and completely blinks his eye. Because a fast one's still tense, especially when I'm desensitizing from his shoulder, he might just be flinching at the rope. So I did his hindquarters, now I'm going to do his hind legs. He's lowering his head, he's nice and relaxed, but he's alert. See, his eyes are up, or his ears are up, he's looking around, so he's not shut down. But I just like to do this first, get him used to the equipment, and then he's got a good foundation to start with. Finish up on his front legs, and he did really good.